Hey friends, Cypress here of Tier 2, Fell Harbor and Cypress. This is just a courtesy video, just to let you know that we are still alive. We still love YouTube. We really have had some things going on, and so that's what this video is about. So, basically, we've had a lot of health issues and family issues happen. So without getting into too much detail, because it's not our information to share, our mother had a planned surgery. I don't think it's a secret, she had a heart attack about 2 years ago. I'm not good with math. I believe it's been 2 years. I don't think it's been 3 yet. So yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. And so, obviously a part of her heart actually died. She had what is called the widowmaker, because usually men have this sort of heart attack and they pass away from it, which creates a widow. I know, it's a very touching name. But so she survived, and so going through, doctor's visits, lots of tests and everything, she came to the decision to have an LVAD placed in her heart. So she's not a good candidate for a heart transplant because she is Superwoman, and so her antibodies in her body would fight off someone else's organ, essentially. She is also a giver, and so since she has O blood, that's the kind of blood that you can give to anyone, but they can only receive O blood. And so it's not super rare, but it's really kind of not too easily accessible. And so putting those two together really just makes it very difficult for her to be a candidate for heart transplant. So coming to terms with that, as I said, she decided to get an LVAD, which stands for Left Ventricle Assistance Device. I think that's right. I'll put the real answer here. I think it's assistance. I know it's left ventricle, and I think the D stands for device. So that was scheduled, and the surgery itself went as planned, but there were for a few complications and setbacks. So it has been coming up on a month now since she had the initial surgery, and she is still in the ICU ward. So obviously once they come out of the operating room, they stay in the ICU and the intensive care unit, and then they can go into a separate room afterwards where they can continue their rehab. So she's been in and out of the OR and in ICU for a solid month now. Because of the pandemic, we're unable to actually visit her. So it's just been my father. Thank goodness they allow him to be there with her. So we've been communicating a lot via phone and texts. And it's very stressful to wake up to a text every morning at 7 and not sure what it's going to say. Especially a few weeks ago, we'd get calls in the morning. We've had 1 or 2 calls that were scary, where it was like, mom's not doing well. And so those just kind of really affected us mentally. And so it's hard to get into a place where you want to kind of just have fun and entertain others. We've also had a lot of work issues, a lot of overtime. Fell Harbor she got a promotion fairly a while ago now, I guess. It's fairly recently, but a little while ago, where she's kind of a leader now, manager. And so she's had some, more responsibility put on her shoulders. I also have some interns now that I'm teaching, and they've been fantastic, but they take more time as well. So there's a lot of energy that gets sucked into that. So those two together were kind of really what was kind of just pulling all of our emotional and mental and physical energy away from us. And we were like, we need to record. We need to tell everyone where we are. We really want that channel back. We just just don't have time and energy. And we were driving, actually. We visited before the surgery and then the week of the surgery. So that was back to back, and we even brought our recording stuff to record. But we were on the phone just wondering, waiting, what was going to happen. We actually had planned that week before my mother's scheduled surgery. We were planning on taking a vacation, of going to the beach and having some fun time. And we still took that time of PTO, but we were in our parents' house just waiting for news of our mother. So it wasn't really relaxing. So we believe that we are out of the woods now. That mother is, what am I? That our mom is on the road to recovery. It is a very long road. Again, I don't want to get into too many details because that's not my story to tell. But it's still a struggle. She's very weak. Her body went through war, and she survived. And she's a survivor and a warrior and very strong. But her body needs time to recover now. But also, to put the cherry on the cake, I also finally got my surgery scheduled. So I have had a hip issue, chronic hip pain, for over a year now, going on 2 years actually. I can never really tell when it first started because I've always had chronic lower back pain. I've gone to physical therapy, like I had it back in high school. And then I also started having sciatica really, really badly in my right leg, and it would even creep into my left leg sometimes too. So I'm used to having chronic pain and not being able to walk long distances. But suddenly it got 10 times worse. And that's because after advocating for myself, which could be a whole video on itself, I realized that I had a labral tear. And so I needed a astroscopy. I'll put it here. It's so they're fixing the labrum. And so that was scheduled. And so I had that last week, last Tuesday, and it was successful. There is potentially a side issue. I'm going to talk to the surgeon. I don't know any details right now. But the healing process has been frustrating for me because obviously I like to get up and go and do a lot of stuff, and I'm pretty much bedridden. I say that, obviously I'm sitting right now, because when you sit, you put pressure on your hip, and that hip joint where the leg meets the hip is specifically where I had my surgery. They not only fixed the muscle there, the labrum, but they also filed down my bone a little bit. Again, I don't know the specifics. I just know what they were planning when they went in. And so it went through some stuff. And so I can't sit in a normal chair for very long. About an hour is the longest I've been able to do so far. I'm slowly building up to it. We live in a 2-story house, and so I went upstairs once, and I've been up here ever since. I did try eating dinner once downstairs. It was very, very painful. Again, sitting like that. So I prop myself up in a reclining position on my bed because I'm able to use enough pillows to take the support or the weight off of my hip specifically, so that it can heal, because that was the issue, is that it just wasn't healing. So that has also had me out of commission because obviously I can't sit on our futon and record video games, because sitting, especially on something as hard as that futon, would be very painful for me. So I'm hoping by the end of next week, I'll be able to endure it a little bit more. Obviously, this has affected me in a lot of ways. Not only can I not drive because it's also my right leg and I'm still on pain meds, but I can't even ride in a car without pain. The ride home was very painful. And then, of course, sitting in a normal office chair is very painful for me. So I've been working on the laptop out of my bed for the past week. So again, the recovery stage should go a little bit faster. Within 3 weeks, I should be, still doing physical therapy, but pretty much back to walking on it. I can walk. I use a cane because I've been unstable. Past few trips to the restroom, I've been able to walk without the cane. I can feel it. I always describe it as it gets angry. It's hard to explain it, but if you've had chronic pain, then it's that warning phase right before you get to that bad day or that bad time. So I luckily have been able to communicate with my body enough over the past year and a half or whatever of having a very similar chronic issue, so that even though now that issue has been healed, it has to heal and of course the surgery part. So that again could be its own video if you're interested in that sort of thing. But this video was just to say we have not gone anywhere. We are not really on hiatus. It was not a planned hiatus. And although we don't know when we're going to come back, we want to come back as soon as possible. We've been talking about it. We've missed our nichelings. We wanted to play the mobile app game. They actually reached out to us, the creators, and was like, hey, we'd love for you to do a video on it. So it was really touching because we are such a small channel, but so we really want to play for you guys, but we don't want to be dishonest and disingenuous. And so when we record, we want it to be something that helps you guys just relax and be stress-free and just have fun. And if we're all stressful and fighting back tears for various reasons, it's just not a good situation to put anyone in. So I hope you guys understand. You have been so supportive. It touches me truly to know that we have not lost any subscribers. Every single one of you means so much to us. We love reading your comments, and that's why not having any of those comments lately, it's really been difficult to just not hear about everyone's dogs and I don't know, just the different stories that you guys always tell us, or the games that you guys are playing. And so we really want to get back into it. But we just need another week, maybe 2 weeks, but we will get back into it. We've also talked about streaming more. So even though we don't know exactly what we want to stream, because it has to be a specific type of game so that we can kind of interact with everybody. I also might just start streaming, just doing my crafts and stuff. So if you're interested in that, that'd be awesome. Otherwise, I'll do that on my other channel. But so we want to get back into it, and actually even harder than used to, and then we even more serious than we had been. And so please, thank you. Please and thank you. Yes. Thank you for your patience. Please have a little bit more patience with us. We thank you for your understanding. And please like, comment, and subscribe. That way you can also get that notification bell so that when we do post, you'll know. And then comment down below. We are there for you. So are you guys going through anything that you want us to pray or give positive vibes to? And just let us know what games you want us to play when we come back, especially streaming. And I think that's it. I don't want to make this video too long. My hip is already starting to hurt me because I already did my hour earlier this afternoon. So I have to stop recording now. But we love you guys, and we will pick this up after the drop.